Guys, how we doing? My name's Michael Oldroyd, and I wanted to talk about pretty much the only book that I've read since college. It was about 10 years ago. Let me rephrase that. The only book that I've read for recreation, and also for non-recreation. I have read, I have had jobs where you got to read emails. I think reading is really important, and I just don't do it enough. It's a muscle that needs to be exercised. It's good for your vernacular and your use of words, your diction, if you will. And I don't know whether it's laziness or not making a point to do it, but if I'm going to read for recreation, I'm going to do it for true recreation. And I'm going to tell you about this book that in a way spoke to me. That's why I picked it up off the counter in an old kind of grungy bookstore back in Columbia, Missouri when I was still in college. I always wanted a book to kind of like speak to me, you know what I mean? They say don't judge a book by its cover, but there's something, it wasn't a fancy cover or anything. Maybe it was the title of the book, the way it looked, maybe it was the bookstore and the moment that I was in. But there was a book that kind of was sitting in the store here, and it said, The Woman in White. And I was like, ooh, intriguing. The Woman in White. Right? And I picked it up, and I started to read, and it captured me. It took place in the 1800s, right? And it was mysterious. It had a little light, it had a little bit of dark. Obviously, white represents light. Black, metaphorically, usually represents the darkness, right? And the woman in white, okay? It opens up, and the guy is walking through the woods in England, I believe, somewhere in Europe in the 1800s at night, and he comes across this beautiful woman that looks scared and in distress. I guess she taps him on the shoulder, and she's got cold hands, and she's in a frenzy saying, I don't remember exactly what she said because I started reading the book over 10 years ago, but nevertheless, he finds out after she goes that the insane asylum is looking for her, right? So it's got this component of this woman who's intriguing, scared, mysterious, part of an insane asylum. It's got love. It's got, this dude's an artist, right? He's a good guy, the main character. I forget his name, but he's an artist. He falls in love with this. He's commissioned to help teach this family, this rich family, specifically this one daughter who's beautiful that he falls in love with, teaches her how to paint. And somehow there's a connection with her and this mysterious woman, Anne Hathaway, right? Is it her? Is it someone else? What is this connection? But somehow there's this connection and this weird plot where she marries, and she ends up getting married out of the duty for her family. It's an arranged marriage of some sort. She doesn't want to marry this guy, but he's got a lot of money, but he's potentially evil. His name is Sir Percival, right? And then he's connected to some other happy, jolly dude that's too good to be true, some evil dude. So it really pulls you in, and I read about 5 pages a year. I remember every time I would get on the plane, I would actually read maybe a page or have to start where I was previously because it had been a year. And I had been reading this, and I finally finished it a couple of years ago, and I told my buddy Jimmy, and I was like, dude, I finally finished that book, bro. The main character falls in love with this girl named Laura, who happened to be the girl that I was dating in college. Her name was Laura. So I was like, ooh, what's this connection with Laura? Maybe Anne Hathaway or whatever her name. Anne Hathaway? No, it's not Anne Hathaway. Anyway, very intriguing stuff. I do recommend reading. And it was cool to finish a book. It took me 10 years. And it wasn't that thick of a book. I'll have to read the spark notes on it so I can give you guys a better synopsis. But nevertheless, it did speak to me. It was intriguing. And in the end, it was actually really cool. It had religion involved. It had insane asylums involved. It had the entire spectrum of light and dark. Evil, greed, love, unselfishness. I had the entire thing. So really, it's like Star Wars if you think about it. Anyway, The Woman in White is the name of the book, and I figure I felt compelled to share because, it was something that stood out to me, and it's something that I completed. I'm proud of myself for finishing a book. All right, it took me 10 years. Thank you. Thanks for checking it out.